guest tonight is an adjunct professor here at William Patterson, as well as a WPTV alum and host of the old late night show here, Lose the Remote. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark Barragato.
Thank you. Good to be here.
This is your first time back on WPTV since 2007.
2007.
What's it like to be back?
It's very, very different.
Yeah?
This, set's different, the studio's different, the equipment, everything. It's like not even, the student center's finished.
It wasn't even finished when it wasn't even started?
I had a student center for 1 year. And then for my freshman year.
So the cribs, you got to look around at.
Oh yeah, like I never, but then for the next 3 years I was here, it was just a big construction zone,
You guys had the old studio, but it wasn't in here. It was in the other room, or
no? We had a studio in here, but we were all we weren't even digital yet. We had analog, and the control room was over in a different section in the backstage.
Yeah.
It's just not even close to what it was when I was here.
So how does it feel to be in the guest chair instead of the host chair? Because you did host the old show.
I did. Lose the Remote.
How was that? How long did you did that for?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, my sophomore year was when I found out about it, and my first year living on campus.
Yeah.
My freshman year I was a commuter, and I was in the theater department, and then I came in and I was like, I really want to get into TV, and then I met this one kid. We became friends. He was like, "Hey, we have a show that's starting up called Lose the Remote. If you're interested, we're having host tryouts." I said, "Sure," and tried out. And then those people that I tried out with were 10 years later. We still.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and 3 years to have a show is pretty successful.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the only late night show on campus.
Yeah.
It was the best 3 years of my life. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can't go for 3 years because I leave next
we
year.
get 2, and then I'm all alone.
And then you're here.
Yeah, I'm all alone.
All right.
Well,
hopefully.
I said the same thing, and now I'm doing one on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. But so you graduated from here. You went to grad school.
Yes.
And then you're now coming back here as an adjunct professor, and you teach film 1.
I teach film 1 now, but I've also taught advanced TV production. I taught video production, editing. I taught film as a medium. So they kind of just bounce me between the 2 departments.
Is it weird to be back after being in those classes and coming back and
It's different to be in front of the classroom instead of sitting in the chairs.
And I mean, obviously your work at school here paid off because you now work as an assistant editor on Pawn Stars.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
So working on that, I feel like working on that show would be so fun. I don't know, just to look at all the footage and everything.
You would think it's fun
until
you actually get in there. Then because it's such a. I mean, obviously it's a fun show to work on. It's very organized. I mean, as Left Field Pictures is the production company that puts on Pawn Stars, but that's one of the 100 shows they do there.
Yeah.
But Pawn Stars is considered to be the flagship show because it's the most popular. It's #1 on the History Channel.
Yeah.
It's very well known. So the crew for that is well oiled, no mistakes, and it's so compared to the other production crews, Pawn Stars is a very, very good one.
When you went here, were you really into editing, and that's how you got how did you actually get the job there?
Well, when I was a student here, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then when I started Lose the Remote and we started doing skits for the show, we started putting them together. That's when I started getting involved with editing, and then that's when I realized that's what I like to do. So I just started doing some internships here and there, and then internships is the way to go. Yeah. And then I knew somebody at MTV who got me an interview with the right person, and then that was it. Then I got the opportunity to leave and become an assistant editor on some of the TV shows, Nikki and Sarah Live Season 2 for MTV. I was on Guy Code and Girl Code for a couple months. Wow. Then I went to CW Network, was on a web series for them. They were having some event where both production companies would be there. And they were like, Mark, you should come. And I was new to Deke at the time, and I was like, I don't want to go. And they're like, no, come on. You just come for one drink. But it was a long day. I was like, I really don't feel like going. So come on, you're coming for one drink. I said, fine. So I went, and then I just started talking to this lady there, and by the end of the night, I was leaving. She's like, "Oh, well, I never got your name." I said, "Oh, my name's Mark. I'm an assistant editor." She's like, "Oh, I'm a post-production supervisor." And I'm like, "Oh, well, those are the people that hire us."
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, "Oh, for what so?" She's like, "Pawn Stars. Have you heard of it?" I said, "Yeah, it rings a bell." And so she's like, "Oh, well, we have an opening if you want to send me a resume." So
Obviously.
that's all TV.
Networking.
It's all networking.
Yep.
So if you're ever anywhere and they say go to the bar, go. Like anywhere, just go.
I'm gonna take that advice.
Go. Go to
when-
the bar.
Go to the bars. That's the
When we were
advice.
talking earlier, I found this interesting that you and Eric are actually from the same town, Dumont, New Jersey.
We are.
Both Dumont natives.
Yes. Huskies represent.
Huskies. Now, you went to all the classic places like De Niro's, Jolly Nick's, Italian Connection.
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
You remember
Jolly.
the Dumont fight song, right?
Of course.
Where Dumont, the brown and orange, and
Orange and brown.
Huskies.
Huskies.
Go food.
Go Huskies. Food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. Everyone sings it.
It was a very bad song.
Was
Yeah.
is it an unorganized town?
I mean,
Like, I feel
Mostly.
like
There's a train that runs through the middle of the town and practically through the high school. So-
it's literally right next to the high school. One
The train is?
one time I distinctly remember when I was in high school, the train came by and the tracks didn't come down. And this is a true story. And so cars were literally going over that, like right before, and the train's coming, and we're like, oh my God, we're about to see a scene from that movie Unstoppable. Bang! But thankfully that doesn't happen. But that's a true story, yeah.
and that's when you all start doing the chant.
That's
Yes.
what we do the chant.
Huskies.
I think we kind of made the song up during that. For some reason.
To talk about lastly, you said you host the Lose the Remote show.
Yes.
And you're actually coming back and doing a reunion show after 10 years.
10 years.
And that's on this Sunday. So, would you want to talk a little about that?
I can't be more excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, we've been doing a lot of prep for it for a few months now, and but we're having a couple late night guests, which I'm not gonna ruin just yet. Okay. So we're gonna we have pre-taped skits. I'm the editor for the pre-taped skits,
Gotcha.
and then we've all been. One thing we always do, we don't have just like one person writing, like we're all collaborative.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how you should be, too.
Exactly. So we've been pretty much going back and forth. Right now, we're trying to lock the skit that we taped, and I have everything edited, and I keep sending everybody, and they keep making changes, and I'm like, okay, guys, like the show's on Sunday. Let's lock this already.
And all four of you guys, your producers, have been really successful with their jobs. So,
Yeah.
so that's pretty great.
Yeah.
So, Mark Barragato, everybody. When we come back, we're going to play a little game with Eric and I, and so don't go anywhere. This is later.